Okay, perfect. So it looks like we're good to go. So firstly, thank you for everybody tuning in on the stream. Thanks for all of you people that have tuned in early, actually. So again, really appreciate you tuning in. Just to recap, what we're going to be starting is a brand new stream. I'm going to play through the adventure mode of Diddy Kong Racing, as you can tell by the video and the description. So essentially what we're going to be doing is starting a brand new game. It's been quite a few years. What sort of prompted me to do this well, firstly, Diddy Kong Racing is probably one of my all-time favourite games on the N64. But it's been quite a while since I've played through the full adventure mode from start to finish. So probably over the next few nights I'll try and do everything from start to finish. Just in the first adventure mode, there's no point really, unless you guys want it, for me to then go on to do the mirror mode. As you can tell, I'm probably going to choose Tip Top as my character. He's always been my favourite character. So sorry to James Eastwood. I know Timber's your favourite character by the sounds of it. But unfortunately I'm going to be choosing Tip Top for this stream. So let's have a quick check-in before we get things underway. So to those who have managed to tune in early, we've got everybody from Bill Pippin, Fiona Lee as always. Thanks for tuning into the stream. 2M8Y4U, welcome. Justin Bilodeu, welcome. Zachary Mead, James Eastwood. Again, really appreciate you guys tuning in nice and early. So we're going to start a brand new game. Again, I have completed this game many times, but it has been quite a few years since I sort of went through everything from start to finish. OMH20 asks, is this my favourite racing game? It's probably up there. I'm a big fan of racing games, but Diddy Kong Racing is definitely one of my favourite ones. Chemistry as well, welcome. Thanks for being one of the early birds. Lives Wired, good to know that you like this game also. It's definitely a fun game. It really came out of nowhere. There wasn't much hype or previews for it. A lot of the magazines at the time, they got invited to see a game that Rare were working on, and when they went there the game was pretty much finished and it was going to be shipped I think it was a few weeks or maybe a month or two after. So it literally came out of nowhere. So it's an interesting title, and it's one which I have so many memories with, so many memories. So Stephen Sutcliffe, hello, thanks for tuning in as well. Zachary Mead says it's one of the first video games I ever played, this and Smash Brothers. Well, if they're two of the first games that you played, then really they are two of my well-loved games. So just to let you know, I'm not very good at multitasking, so what I'm going to do is when I'm actually racing, I'm not going to be checking the chat because I make horrible mistakes. So when I'm racing, if you talk amongst yourselves when it comes to in between races, I'll pick up on the chat. A little bit ropey there. It's not my fastest lap on this, but not a bad start. Again, this is not going to be a speed run or anything like that. This is really just me winding down, just enjoying myself. Not a bad time. Definitely not a bad time. Johnny Allison, the HDMI mod looks brilliant. Yeah, I'm really impressed with it. I do like it. I'm still very partial to S-Video, but it makes things a lot easier to stream when you have the Ultra HDMI mod. It just a lot more modern capture cards make it a lot easier. Blue Phoenix Entertainment. What was my favourite game ever and what made me an N64 fan? So my favourite game ever, as you can probably tell, is The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. It's one of my all-time, definite, probably favourite game. So many memories of it. But again, it's one of those games I've not played in quite a while now. I think the last time I played it all the way through was when the 3DS remake version came out. The reason why I like choosing Tip Top as my character, I know he hasn't got the greatest top speed, but I really, didn't see that. A little bit slow on that one. I really like his acceleration, but also really, really tight handling. I think especially when it comes to some of the boss, and I didn't see that one either, terrible. But yeah, when it comes to the boss races, which you'll see, the Octopus one I've always struggled on. But I always find that the tight turning of Tip Top is always sort of useful. It just fits how I like handling. So back over to the chat. Cloud Strife, good to see you as well. Cloud Strife says he always uses Timber the Tiger. Seems to be a popular character for a lot of people. So let me know what characters you'd play as and who your favourite characters in Diddy Kong Racing are. Christian Jarros says the only thing better than playing an N64 game is watching someone as good or better than you at playing it. I'm definitely not a master at Diddy Kong Racing, but like I said, it is one of the games that I like, so generally I sort of get a lot of enjoyment from playing this. Only a weak boost this time. A little bit loose on that turn there. Dan Bottiglieri, Pipsy Master Race. Yeah, Pipsy's another popular character. I think if you like Tip Top, most people are generally fans of Pipsy as well. They're very similar handling and control styles, so I do always like those characters. Quintin Seville says he always chose Diddy and Banjo. They're good characters. I'm quite surprised that nobody so far has mentioned selecting TT as their character. So I remember way back in the day unlocking TT, which was at the time, I don't know how difficult it is now because I've not had to do it for years, but unlocking TT was a big challenge back then. I always remember there was a couple of races that were sort of quite difficult. Nico asked, do I like Turok 2? Yep, I'm a really big fan of Turok 2. For those of you who have PCs, hopefully you've downloaded the Turok 2 remastered edition, which came out last week. It looks really, really cool, but unfortunately there's not a Mac version for it at the moment. so I've been unable to actually play it myself. So I'm looking forward, hopefully they'll bring out a Mac version. Saying that though, the Mac version of the first turret game was not all that great. I had a lot of control issues with it. A little bit rusty on this track. It's not one of my favourite ones, Hot Top Volcano. I much prefer the kart-based levels. So yeah, if you let me know what your favourite vehicle was. My brother always used to like the Hovercrafts. Again, you'll see when I come to the Hovercraft races, I'm not all that great at them. But kart races, yeah, they're generally my favourite ones. Ooh, rusty there. In for the win though. Zachary Mead, have ever played a significant amount of the DS version of Diddy Kong Racing? I did. I got it right when it came out, but I was really disappointed by it. I didn't like the touchscreen collect the flag or tokens or whatever they were. I thought they were terrible. They were a really bad addition. I also didn't like the fact that they changed the genie's voice for it as well. So really didn't like that. King Fossil Fur got TT. I did when I was a kid, not in this kart at the moment. So that's why I'm not playing as TT. So he was always very overpowered, as people have mentioned. Pat McMillan there mentioned that TT is an overpowered bastard. But yeah, TT was definitely way overpowered, but he took a lot of work to get him. So to be fair, that's kind of one of the reasons why I guess he's so OP. Ooh. I completely messed up that missile shot. Almost went over the edge there. I'd forgotten that there's a speed boost in the middle. Yeah, no problems that time. Fiona Lee says it's a shame that the sequel to this got cancelled. Yeah, Donkey Kong Racing I was really looking forward to. Thanis Pumpkin, hello to you too. Soulstorm 64. Well, you learn something new every day on this channel. Fiona Lee said she wasn't aware there's a shortcut through those two bushes, so hopefully from watching this stream you may pick up some tips if you may be new to the game. Cardboard Box says he's enjoying the music, it's very catchy. Are we on to the silver coin challenge? Yeah, silver coin challenge now. Again, it might take me one or two attempts with these because I can't necessarily remember exactly where they are on all of the courses. I'll be able to make it up. Ah, horrible, 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 horrible.
Go for it. Lap 2. Power up.
Have I gone completely crazy, or have I forgotten where? I thought I was still missing a coin there. Oh well. And the key as well. Managed to pull that one back. Soulstorm64 says, using the co-op cheat for this game is so much fun with a friend. Definitely. Yeah, I really enjoy this game. Really enjoy this one. Cloudstrife says he never finished the game because the coin challenges were too difficult. They were certainly challenging, especially in the later ones as well. James Eastwood brings up a good point. Would the elephant be considered racist nowadays? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section or in the live chat. Personally, I don't think it is. I know it's a very stereotypical sort of Indian accent, but it's kind of fun. It suits the character. I mean, come on, when you think of elephants, most people think of places like Thailand or India. So I personally don't feel it's racist. So in case you haven't guessed, what I normally tend to do when I'm doing these silver coin challenges is I'll spend the first lap taking as much of the coins as possible, and then the other 2 laps I can normally just about make up the race. So if you're wondering why I'm going a little bit slow on the first lap, that's the reason why. So back to the chat. Cardboard Box says the elephant voicing was changed in the DS version, so maybe they thought it could be seen as racist. I honestly don't know, as I've never considered it racist in the slightest. It's just an accent. From what I remember, I think they had to change the voice because the voice actor, I don't think they had the rights to use it. Perhaps somebody in the chat will be able to confirm that, so I can't say 100%. But if I remember reading something maybe years ago about that was the reason why they had to change it, because there was no option to use the same accent. Okay, now we race. There we go. James 2.0 asked, did I ever unlock the ninja on Snowball Kids? Yeah. Cinnabon was the ninja character, and I did unlock him. Again, that's one of my other all-time favourite racers. Justin Bilodeau says Wave Race is one of his favourite racers. Fiona Lee asks, have I ever played Crash Team Racing? I have, and my wife actually really likes that game. It's one of her favourite sort of kart-based racing games. So I'm going to have a quick break from that just to basically go and use the key. So I'll come back to the other races. Let's just do the challenge first, get the eggs. Oh, Timber's eggs have already hatched. I didn't realise. I think mine should, yeah. I was going to say mine should hatch first, so I should win that one. Lucas Aoyung Rivest says Sega All-Star Racing is pretty fun kart racer. Yeah, my sister's son, I think he's maybe about 5 years old. He loves Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. I played it myself a couple of times on Nvidia Shield. Kind of enjoyed it. I think it's a fun game. I don't think it quite has the nostalgia factor for me because I was never a huge Sega fan. So for me, that's not quite the sort of same feel for me. Rick FD asks, what was my favourite level in this game? My favourite world, I think, was the one where Greenwood Village is. And I kind of forget the name of the actual world, but the one where you take the shortcut through the fountain. Yeah, I always enjoyed that one. And of course, a lot of the winter snow ones, that always just reminds me of Christmas, because I remember playing this, I think it must have been in January, the Christmas after it came out, whilst I was still on school holidays. So yeah, I really enjoyed that one. It brings back a lot of memories, especially at Christmas.
Hello friend, bye bye for now.
So I'm going to try and stick to the worlds in order. So for those of you hoping I might jump between, I'm just going to try and clear each world as we sort of progress through the game.
Volcano.
Silver coin challenge on Hot Top Volcano. One of my worst levels. I really don't like this one. In actual fact, it's probably because I can't remember where all of the actual coins are on this one, so this might be a little bit of a rough playthrough. A little bit rough there. A little bit rough.
Go for it. Final lap.
There we go, doing quite well. Have I ever thought about writing reviews before? To be honest, I generally tend to like sort of making video reviews. Again, it's kind of the same process really. Whenever I never do reviews off script, I generally have a sort of structure and I think about what I'm going to say, you know, write the review, check I'm happy with it, print it off and sort of take it from there really. Get everything recorded, video captured. It's kind of more my style rather than just having purely written reviews on a website. So I need to focus for this one because this one I think is going to take me maybe a couple of attempts. I can't remember the last time when I completed this guy first time. So and I know it's only the first boss in the game, but it's a challenge, especially when it's been a few years since I played the actual adventure mode in this game. And I used that boost at the wrong time. Normally for the second boss challenge you're supposed to use the boost maybe about halfway up because there's no boost pad. So it makes things slightly more difficult. And it doesn't help there's also more trees. Wow, that's the first time I think I've completed both of the boss races first time for this one. Yambagini Mercy said he took off before it said go. Yeah, a lot of the boss characters you'll find generally cheat pretty much non-stop. So this is it. It kind of just saved me from going over it exactly. Lucas, thank you very much for the good game. So the Grand Prix mode I should now fly through. That should be really straightforward.
Trophy race. Ancient Lake.
I always found the Grand Prix modes really, really easy. I know it's like just a nice extra throw in to maybe extend the game time, but I think by the time you've gone through everything with the actual races, I never really found the Grand Prix all that challenging. My timing was a little bit off.
Lap 2. Final lap.
A little bit wide on that turn. Crazy one. Yeah, Soul Storm 64 says cheeky bosses. Yeah, the bosses are very cheeky. The further you get into the game as well, the cheekier they get. Whizpig. Whizpig is certainly a cheating boss. Rick FD, do I think this game is highly underrated? It's a good question. I wouldn't say it's underrated because most people who are aware of the game and have played it before, I generally think a lot of people say that as a single player game it's better than Mario Kart 64. As a multiplayer game, then Mario Kart 64 is much better than this, for most people anyway. So I wouldn't class this an underrated game. Generally anything by Rare on the N64 is pretty much a dead cert as being a fun game, really.
Lap 2.
Seems to be a lot of mines that people have dropped on this. Normally you get quite a clean run through, so yeah, a little bit surprised to see so many mines on this track. Ben Ray asks, how often do I stream? To be honest, I really need to get better at scheduling them so people know when I'm going to be streaming. Sometimes it's a couple of times a week, sometimes it's about once a week. Normally where possible I try to stream about once a week where possible. But I thought I'd do this as part of a series. Normally when I do a stream it's kind of like a one-off sort of game or experience or something I want to show off, but generally speaking, I'd like to try and get a full captured and a full stream of a game from start to finish. So considering Diddy Kong Racing is one of my favourite games, that's why I decided it's probably a good idea to start with Diddy Kong Racing. A lot of people have been asking for something like Paper Mario as a live stream. So yeah, maybe like something a bit longer like an RPG, maybe Ogre Battle 64, StarCraft, Command and Conquer maybe. Shadowgate is another one, so we'll see. If anyone's got any suggestions for series or a series of streams that they'd like to see me do, maybe from start to finish, just let me know in the comments what sort of games you'd like me to do. I'll definitely get around to seeing what I can do. James 2.0 is asking any of the games consoles or any of the consoles games that I haven't played. Some of the Japanese titles I've not played, generally the more obscure or unusual ones. Especially there's a lot of baseball games, a lot of mahjong games. So generally I try to avoid those because they're not really the type of game I'm looking at playing. But generally speaking, I've played, which is why I like when a new beta gets released or a dumped prototype or things like that, because it's basically an opportunity to try and play a new game. So say something like Mini Racers, that was a prototype I really enjoy playing because it's an N64 game that's basically brand new for people that are a big fan of the console. It's fun to have a new experience, something fresh to play for a change. That's not to say I don't like. That's not to say I don't like going back to play a lot of these old games, because that's kind of what I do on the channel. But it's always nice to have something new and fresh, because I don't really get around to playing sort of modern games that come out. So if you talk to me about anything on really PlayStation 4, Xbox One, it's not really something I'm going to be able to have an involved. I thought that was the. So I was doing the flip finish because I thought that was the last lap. Probably need to pay attention. But yeah, as I was saying, anything on sort of newer systems, I'm not really a sort of modern a modern gamer really. I generally prefer just to stick to N64. There's some really good looking games on things like the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Some good PC games that look like they're coming out. But yeah, it's generally just N64 that I stick to. And to be honest as well, I think especially for the channel, that's what most people, obviously with this being an N64 channel, that's what most people sort of tune in to see. So if I started streaming PlayStation 4 games or Xbox One, there's probably not really going to be an audience for it. But Kevin Murphy brings up a good point. Will I be picking up Yooka-Laylee? Potentially. If I was going to get it, I'd probably get the PlayStation 4 version. Bill Pippin asks, have I played Taz Express? I have. And it's an okay game. I can see why they didn't bring it out. Oh, completely forgot the turn there. I always hated this turn here, I always found it really sharp. There we go, not so bad that time.
Left 2.
So which world would you want me to move on to next? Do you want me to go down to the beach levels or just move naturally onto the snow world? Choice is yours really.
Final lap. Watch out.
Yeah, it seems most people are wanting the beach levels, so yeah, once I get wrapped up with this, as I said, the Octopus, I forget his actual character name, but yeah, the Octopus was always the boss that I struggled with the most, so it should be interesting when we get to that stage.
Hello, friend. Bye-bye for now.
Have I got the point yet where... I'm trying to remember the point where Drumstick, his frog appears. And I can't remember if it's this early in the game or if there's a time period. Maybe someone in the comments can remind me what point Drumstick shows up. Either way, let's head down to the beach. Yeah, Amroch says it's not until you beat WizPig 1. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Let's start at Whale Bay.
Whale Bay. Get ready. Go.
A little bit rustier with the Hovercraft. It was, as I mentioned before, it's not really one of my favourite vehicles. There we go. Yeah, holding down R. That is something that I do, but if I remember correctly, it slightly reduces the top speed. So when I was a kid, every race I always used to hold down R to get the tighter turns. But I do think it sort of impacts on the speed slightly. Valpo Gamer, thank you for checking in from Chile. It's nice to know that we've got viewers from all over the world. Completely messed that one up. Completely messed that up. And again, struggling. It's a good job the difficulty's not that high on this game anyway, otherwise I'd be getting slaughtered on this race. Valpo Gamer, glad to know you like this game as well. Cloud Strife says the key was annoying to get in this world. Yeah, if I remember, is this the one where the key is with the drawbridge? Or am I thinking of a different track? Again, took that turn horribly. As I said, I'm a little bit rusty. But yeah, well, I remember when I was younger, the amount of hours I put into this game was insane. Play it safe this time, not try and take the shortcut. Do I now have 16 balloons, really? Crazy, crazy, crazy. So somebody just remind me which, whereabouts is the key? Is it on Crescent Island? 16-bit Brit, hello, thank you for tuning in, good to see you. Hope all is well in a different part of Leeds or West Yorkshire. So I'm just going to have a quick drink because I'm kind of out of breath from so much talking. It's non-alcoholic, by the way.
Christmas Island.
Video game Polak. I'm doing very well, thank you very much. You're sitting down to enjoy some spaghetti. I think I remember where this is. I think I remember. I think it's probably easier if I do it with the Hovercraft. I think I remember where this key is.
Christmas Island.
Ah, sorry, I can't choose the Hovercraft yet. Damn. This tide. There we go. Attaboy.
No. Wrong way. Wrong way.
I'll still go on and play the race, why not? It's only 3 laps, it'll be some good practice.
Lap 2. Power up. Final lap.
Ah, terrible. Absolutely terrible. Okay, well at least we got the key. So yeah, Rick FD. That's where it was. So yeah, for those of you that didn't know where it was, or if you'd forgotten like I had, that's exactly where it is. Diablo Killer 999. Do I play some modern games in my spare time? Not really, no. I suppose that's the simple answer. The last modern console I had, I suppose, or what was modern at the time, was a Nintendo Wii. And you know what? I really can't even remember this.
Power up. Power up.
I think someone needs to start getting some hits on Diddy.
Power up.
Like that. There we go.
Power up.
Who's left? Alright, let's have a look.
Power up.
Gotta be. Boom. There we go. Lucky number 7 dude. Glendo, I know Hybrid Heaven. Yep, I reviewed that probably about 2 years ago. A really enjoyable game. I'm one of the big fans of Hybrid Heaven. It's quite a unique game. Really interesting storyline. It's not the most straightforward or clean storyline, but it's an interesting one nevertheless. 16-bit Brit says a Glendos stream sometimes, maybe. Somebody asked for a Glendos stream a while ago, and I said maybe I'll do all of the wrestling games. So if we do it for charity, maybe I'll do a charity stream for a full live stream of all of the wrestling games on the N64 as Glendos. We'll look to maybe raise some money for charity, do it that way. Josh Catterall asks, do I play any other retro systems aside from the N64? I do, on and off. So Super Nintendo, what was I doing there? Super Nintendo is probably my second favourite console. That has some really great titles on it. Lucky number 7 dudes has a collection of 76 N64 games. It's a good collection. Hopefully you've got a lot of the big titles, because there are some N64 games which are getting expensive. This is one of my least favourite tracks. I really never liked this one all that much. A little bit all over the place with it, especially this part here. I just never liked this tunnel. I don't like the placement for the pads. I always find the boost pads that are in pretty awkward positions on this track. Like that. It makes it really hard to get a nice flow going on this track. But thankfully it's quite short as well, so it's not exactly a difficult track. So now we're on to the boss. Now I've got to forewarn you on this. This Octopus boss is the pain of my life. This is what I find to be the most difficult boss in the entire game, even harder than Whizpig. I absolutely despise this Octopus. So this is probably going to be the first race that I'll maybe need to redo a couple of times, because I imagine that I won't complete this first time. So let's just see what we can do. That's the important thing. Already. Even just trying to line up shots is always a challenge. I'll carry on, just because I need to warm up aiming and taking this. Come on, surely that was a hit. Cheap shot. I hate this boss with a passion. And that's what happens when you never give up. Noble11 says, oh god, this is triggering some prepubescent PTSD. Yeah, for me, I just hate the octopus. I just hate the octopus. Diablo Killer 999 says, hey Glenn, how do you handle the degradation of the N64 stick? Do I have replacements? Yes, I do have replacement sticks, but generally speaking these days I'll normally play with the Hori mini pad, just because it's a really nice analog stick to use, but they're very expensive to buy. But if you can get a Hori mini pad for a lot of games, it can be a really good investment. And now I could have sworn that there was a coin there, which is why I went, oh, maybe it's this bend. There we go. I'm struggling. Managed to pull it back. Diablo Killer, that's a really good point. The difference between the NTSC and PAL. So if I ever play an NTSC version of a game, generally I suck at it too. 16-bit Brit, is Yooka-Laylee a game I'd be interested in playing when it's released? It would be if I had an N64, not an N64. If I had a PlayStation 4, then yeah. That would be a game I'd be interested in playing. But unfortunately, I don't have a PlayStation 4. So I don't know how I'm going to be playing it. Sean Solo asks, is this a common game to find over here? It is. Yeah, Diddy Kong Racing is a really easy game to pick up. You have very little problems trying to find it if you're looking to get hold of a copy here in the UK. It was a big selling game, very popular, lots of fans. So for those that are just tuning in, when it comes to the Silver Coin Challenge, just to remind you, I normally will spend the first lap just basically going quite slowly, collecting the coins, and then coming back to properly race a little bit later on. So for example, now I can actually start racing. That's always been my tactic anyway. But in this race, I think it's probably going to cause me problems because I think I've let myself get a bit too far behind.
Final lap.
Like I said, a lot of the silver coin ones come down to memorization, and if it's been quite a while since I did silver coin challenges, it's just trying to remind me exactly where all of the coins are and not make little mistakes like that. Let's restart this one. The first restart, not bad after over an hour of playing. Poor start there. Oh, and how did I mess that up? How did I mess that up so badly?
Lap 2. Power up.
I should have hit that pad, needed that. So what's going to waste me more time now is having to go back up to the top of the pirate ship to get the...
Go for it.
Okay, I'm in with a better chance of doing it this time.
Final lap.
There we go, and we're back. Lucas Aoyong Rivest says, looks like he wasn't a fan of Donkey Kong 64. It was atrocious with all the collecting. That's generally a sort of point a lot of people felt with Donkey Kong 64, was that there was just so much collecting in there. It was insane. Cardboard Box, David Wise or Grant Kirkhope. Or I'd probably go with Grant Kirkhope is probably where my money would lie as to who's my favourite. I think there's another hidden balloon that I need to get. Yeah, here we go.
Lap 2.
Ouch. Simple little mistakes. Fortunately, this is a really easy race. All of the genie challenges are generally quite straightforward races, so you can afford to make a few mistakes.
friend. Bye-bye for now.
Let's get back down to the beach and continue on with our quest then. A lot of people seem to be asking me about Yooka-Laylee. So what I'd like to know is who else here is looking forward to Yooka-Laylee? It seems like a lot of people seem to be quite excited for Yooka-Laylee, which is really cool because it does look really impressive. It looks like a lot of fun. What the hell did I just do there? There we go. Yeah, it seems to be a mixed opinion about Yooka-Laylee. A lot of people are looking quite excited for it, and by the looks of it, most people are going to be getting the PlayStation 4 version, which is good. I do think the PlayStation 4 is a superior console to the Xbox One. A couple of people looking like they're pre-ordering it and waiting for reviews. I've seen some really good pre-order prices for it. So if there are some people hanging back, then potentially now's a good time to look at it, really. Now, am I going crazy? I'm sure I remember there being another secret balloon. Maybe I'm going crazy in my old age. Am I going crazy? Or is I'm sure there's another secret balloon somewhere around. There we go, that's where it is. That was strange. You know, one of those, does anyone else have those experiences where you can remember something so vividly, but then you start to question your own sanity? That's kind of like just what happened there. Okay.
Treasure cave.
Silver coin challenge. Here we go. Okay, now I can race.
Lap 2.
Or maybe not. Terrible, terrible, terrible.
Go for it. Final lap. Power up.
Second restart. Okay, that's going to be third restart, I think.
Lap 2. Go for it. Final lap.
That's my own oil spill as well. Luckily I saved that boost. There we go. Thanos A says MRC was cool. It feels very first gen-ish. I'd agree. I was never a huge big fan of those. But this particular moment in the game, in Diddy Kong Racing, this is my #1 most annoying boss. The second time you have to face this guy is insane. So be prepared. It looks like we're going to have lots of restarts, I imagine, to get through this.
I'll give you a special prize.
I just wish I had a heart rate monitor on now, because I cannot believe that I've completed both of the boss races first time, which is insane. That's probably, and this is no exaggeration, that's probably the best race I've ever had against that damn Octopus.
Goodbye.
Yeah, the noise of the Octopus, Noble11 says, that noise haunts his nightmares. Yeah, mine too.
Trophy race.
Okay, let's get this trophy race nailed.
Obey.
Diablo Killer, did I hear that Factor 5 is back? No. Is it the original guys have formed a new studio, or are they just literally back as Factor 5?
Lap 2. Final lap.
Oh, wow, I didn't see that coming. Okay, I can do a second place on this race. Although I've just broken my perfect winning streak. It's okay though, this is a Grand Prix. By the end of the Grand Prix I'll have won.
Get ready. Go.
Crazy.
2.
Why have I done that? Why have I made that simple mistake?
Final lap.
There we go. Managed to pull it back. Let's have a look. Shonen Samurai. In the end, those bananas on the track, they were never useful, right? The bananas, if you get more than 10 bananas, or 10 or more, it gives you a speed boost, or a maximum speed boost. But to be honest, the way that the game's designed is, because the races are generally quite short and quick, normally by the stage you get to collect 10 bananas, you've probably already finished the race, so it's not really a fully fleshed out concept in the game. But there is a cheat code, if I remember correctly, where you can basically start every race with 10 bananas, and that makes things run a lot quicker.
Final lap. Power up. Power up. Treasure case. Lap 2. Final lap.
There we go. Okay, so that is 2 of the 5 game worlds now down and complete. And so I think for this stream, we're going to call it a night. It's 11 PM here in the UK, so I've got work tomorrow, so I'm going to call it quits there for now. Just make sure we get the game saved and so on. What I'll do is I'll continue with the next part of the adventure quest mode. So hopefully you guys will be able to tune in tomorrow as well. That would be much appreciated, and hopefully you've enjoyed the stream for the evening. So